Spies and all these lies. Y'all, the Dems eat Dems world is scandalous. A lot has been unfolding, so let's get into this. It just keeps getting worse and worse for New York Mayor Eric Adams. I don't know if anyone has been following this storyline concerning Eric Adams in the federal probe alleged campaign corruption for accepting donations from a foreign government, Turkey. Well, now his top aides have just been raided by the FBI. Here's the story.
We begin here at 4 with that breaking news. The FBI raiding the homes of several of Mayor Eric Adams' top aides and NYPD officials.
Now that includes Deputy Mayor of Public Safety Philip Banks, First Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright, and Schools Chancellor David Banks. Now, the Schools Chancellor lives with Wright, and Philip Banks is his brother.
Yeah, we're learning just moments ago, Police Commissioner Edward Caban and Deputy Mayor Tim Pearson among those included in these FBI raids.
And we say thank you for joining us here at 4 for the Pix 11 News. I'm Erin LeBeau.
Yeah, turning out to be a very busy afternoon. I'm Candace Gibson. Let's get right to that breaking news right now from Henry Rossoff, live in Lower Manhattan. Henry, what are you learning from your sources?
Well, a source familiar with this matter tells me that this appears to be unrelated to the nearly year-long investigation into the mayor's campaign finances, specifically whether or not there was any wrongdoing as it relates to dealings and fundraising with the Turkish government and Turkish businessmen. Let's tell you what we know about this apparent second investigation, especially the targets. Take a look at some video. We'll show you who we're talking about. First, Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright. She shares a home with David Banks, the Schools Chancellor in Harlem. We know that early Wednesday morning that home was raided with electronic devices seized. You also may mention already of Deputy Mayor for Public Safety Philip Banks. He's the brother of David Banks, the Chancellor, a former cop and longtime ally to the mayor. He had his Queens home raided. Again, a source close to this matter indicating not linked to the nearly year-long investigation related to this Turkish matter. I did just obtain a statement from City Hall, in fact, from City Hall Chief Counsel Lisa Zornberg. It says, quote, investigators have not indicated to us that the mayor or his staff are targets of any investigation. As a former member of law enforcement, the mayor has repeatedly made clear that all members of the team need to follow the law. But what we have here is, at a minimum, a second major investigation in the orbit of Mayor Eric Adams, and he's facing a tough primary challenge, as is next year, in part because of policy disagreements, but in part because of that first investigation. I've been reaching out to his major primary opponents, and actually just spoke with one of them, former comptroller Scott Stringer. Take a listen.
But you can't just sweep this under the rug, smile in the camera, and say, hey, I'm cooperating. There is now serious allegations. There are now serious subpoenas out there. We have to make sure that the city is running competently and in the most safe manner. But right now, we have a crisis that, quite frankly, in my 30 years in government, I have never seen a day quite like this in New York City government.
So, there you have it. I'll keep following this story to see what shakes out of this investigation. So, moving on to the spies. So the New York Governor Kathy Hochul aide has been indicted for being a Chinese communist spy, which now has sparked a full investigation in the governor's administration. Here's the story.
So we're just digging into this story, but it's quite something. A former aide to New York Governor Kathy Hochul has been charged with acting as an agent of China and the Chinese Communist Party. Correspondent Nate Foy reporting live from New York. What can you tell us, Nate?
Hey, Martha. So reactions are pouring in. New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is now calling for an investigation into New York Governor Kathy Hochul's administration after Hochul's former aide, Linda's son, and her husband, Christopher Hu, are now accused of using Son's political influence in state government to advance the interest of the Chinese Communist Party. FBI agents arrested Son and Hu this morning. Son held several different high-level positions in the state government starting in 2012 under then-Governor Andrew Cuomo. Prosecutors say Sun blocked a 2019 meeting between the Taiwan president and New York representatives. Prosecutors also say she messaged a Chinese official saying Taiwanese representatives do a better job of cultivating relationships, writing, quote, "They regularly reach out to me to have coffee. Same with all other reps and other elected offices. Not that we need to have coffee because we are in regular contact. It might be helpful to building a better relationship. Not everyone is like me," with a smiley face at the end. Sun is also accused of providing improper benefits to Chinese officials. A spokesperson for Governor Hochel tells Fox News, quote, "This individual was hired by the executive chamber more than a decade ago. We terminated her employment in March 2023 after discovering evidence of misconduct, immediately reported her actions to law enforcement, and have assisted law enforcement throughout this process." Prosecutors say Sun provided unauthorized and even fraudulent invitation letters to Chinese officials so they could visit the United States. Then her husband, Christopher Hu, is accused of helping to launder the millions of dollars in paybacks that prosecutors say they've received from the Chinese government.
Well, there you have it. She claims she didn't know. Do y'all believe her? Let me know in the comments section. I'll keep watching to see how it all unfolds. Now on to the good stuff. Looks like that convicted felon narrative is unraveling very quickly. So the DOJ Chief of Public Affairs was caught admitting that the 34-count felony case was a perversion of justice. He stated they were just out to get Trump for political ambition. Take a look.
Let me be clear about something on the outset. The person you'll be watching today is not the bad guy here. Unwitting whistleblower? Yeah. Nicholas Biasi is the Chief of Public Affairs for the Department of Justice's Southern District of New York. Something you may be familiar with, and the most prominent federal trial court in America.
Those felonies did nothing to stop Trump from running.
No, in fact, they made him more relevant.
Did that backfire?
Sure did.
And
That's why, like, the surgery it's a perversion of justice. Stacking charges and rearranging things just to make the case look bad.
why?
I think the case is nonsense.
State levels are wild west. They're like idiots. They don't care. They're all political. So yeah, this guy's probably gonna try to lock him up. It's gonna be ugly. They're so obsessed with getting here.
Alvin Bragg, who I've known for 15 years. He used to work in my office. It's before he decided to prosecute Trump. Did you know who he was? I'm not sure what he wanted to be, but I know he's not happy just being the DA in New York County. So now he's very ambitious. Every real estate person in New York does what he did. Nobody's ever been charged with this.
Mr. Biasi is just saying the quiet part out loud. The part that unfortunately matters. Lawfare? Yes. Why? Because Biasi openly says so. The ones from Alvin Bragg are a particular perversion of justice. How do you know? Because Biasi says so, and he's known him for 15 years. Election interference? At this point, is there any doubt?
So now this got me wondering if this was the motive for the all of a sudden change of heart in delaying the sentencing for Trump. You know, Trump always said it was a sham, but they had a gag order on him so he couldn't even talk about it. But you know what? You never win when you're playing dirty. What's done in the dark will always come to light. So y'all, take care, be good, love your families, and I'll see you next time. All right.